Stevie Lee, my brother, man, happy Sunday to you. He and I just saw each other. And if you've been watching or paid attention to our social media, there's somewhat of a humorous photo floating out there. Compliments of the photographer, the lovely Trish. Man, yesterday, great day. Always a great day to be allowed to follow and see what we love, and that is college football. Man, how are you the day after? How are you the day after? Because we also utilize these college football games to catch up with all the amazing people we interact with.
It's a great day like yesterday, man. Got out there and tailgate with my babies a little bit, and hooked up with some old friends, new friends, made some new friends. It was a lot of fun yesterday, man. A lot of fun.
No, it was hot, but man, we love it. We're made for this. You're from Louisiana. You're made for the heat and humidity. And I'm from the great city of Austin, Texas, even though I left for a couple decades. It's in the DNA. We're ready for it. But now the games really count for a new conference, a new championship. And we're going to dive into that. And if you were not aware, my name's Sean Clinch. There's my Twitter handle. Follow me. Follow Stevie on all other social media platforms. He's no longer on Twitter, but we hope to get him back on there. This is where you can follow right here. And, of course, all of this would not be possible without the people who own the rights to the graphics. Hargrove Roofing, and Stevie Lee is the official face, along with Bert Auburn, the kicker of the Texas Longhorns. He shares time with the kicker, and he's okay with it. Stevie Lee, what do we say about our lovely, amazing family at Hargrove?
Hargrove Roofing. Know who's on your roof.
Good people, good craftsmen, and quality work. Stevie, I think we just need to jump right into this. The AP and college football coaches polls came out. Texas has been number one in the AP for a week, and they responded nicely with a backup quarterback who could easily be a starter anywhere. But let's reveal our Power 12, if you will. You ready?
Good.
Let's do it, baby. All right, one big. Last week I had Texas technically at number 2, and I'll tell you why I put them at number 1 this week.
Okay, because of all the guys that I told to jump on you at the tailgate?
No. Texas not only responded well, they just kept playing.
Yeah.
Kept being themselves. And Michigan is getting their act together with a different quarterback, and they beat USC.
Yep.
So by virtue of that, Georgia, idle, Texas handed Michigan a big loss at home, but Michigan is riding the ship, so to speak. Big-time win against another ranked opponent, USC. That's why I officially have Texas in at number 1.
Yeah. Thank you. Now that you were a week behind, you're still here now. So,
man, I'm not going anywhere.
Now that's good. I think that looks good at the top 6 looks good. What happened with Mizzou? Did you drop them
a little bit? I mean, so here's the thing with that. So it's going to sound like I'm a hypocrite. Mm-hmm. So I'm telling you, Vanderbilt is better than people are giving them credit for.
And I told you that in the beginning of the season. I said, we got to go to Vandy, and that's not a cakewalk, man. That's still one of those slip-up games.
Right.
Don't take them for granted. I've been telling everybody that. We were looking at our schedule, trying to figure out the hard games. We got to go to Arkansas. And then when I say, man, we also got to go to Vandy, and I was like, and they looked at me crazy like, Vandy, what? And now look at them, man. I'm telling you, first of all, it's a hard game when you're number 1. It's also a hard game every one of those games in the SEC. So,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So, Vandy played Mizzou real close, man. 3-point game. That's crazy. So, what's really cool is the top 3 teams are SEC teams. Top 6 teams is a 5 out of 6.
5 of the 6 SEC.
5 of the 6 top 6 teams are SEC. So, and if Michigan get their act together, they can challenge Ohio State as well. So that's a rivalry game, toss-up games,
Ohio State's really good, but we really don't know how good they are.
Yeah.
Because they're playing some mid teams.
Yeah.
But, if you go ahead and look at the U, man. They've won by some lopsided point differentials.
Yeah.
Utah, big win at Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
I really like this Penn State team. I'm not sold on Oregon yet. I want to keep SC relevant. I think Lincoln's got them on the fringe. But, man, I really liked that Illinois win at Nebraska. And BYU put it on Kansas State. BYU is still undefeated.
The problem with BYU for me, man, they can do great in one game and then just stink it up the next game. And that's been historic with them, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they got to show me consistency throughout, Yeah,
well, it's going to be fun, man. And that's what's so fun about these. It doesn't matter who votes. Coaches have opinions in their poll. But my poll is not overly relevant. It's just looking at everything, factoring in everything without actually using a computer. I mean, we're using human element right here. Yeah. But I have no bias. I'm trying not to. But let's go ahead and move on to the game that we were, we witnessed, and the number 1 team in the country.
Red zone offense continues to be a positive for us this year, something that, you get what you emphasize. We spent a lot on this offseason. And I think defensively, just the way our guys refuse to try to let people get in the end zone.
So that's how we're gonna unbundle the Longhorns. We'll begin with the offense. I love Sark when he talks. Everyone has their own tick. And whenever he makes a head movement or something, he always touches his ear. You notice that? But
I have not noticed that. I'll check it out next time.
We all have our own. I have my own habits. It's funny. I notice myself when I do it, and I get real not insecure. I'm like, man, why did I just do that? Why? Yeah. But it's just habit. But let's start with the quarterback. We know Quinn Ewers questionable with the oblique injury on the lower abdominal area. Why not sit him out? Protect him for the SEC. He could be questionable for this SEC opener, Mississippi State. Arch Manning, and before we get your comments, I want to pull up his graphic, just his overall performance. It's in this precursor to everyone watching or listening. It is much different coming into a game than starting. It's totally different, in my opinion. And these were his numbers. What you saw. What did you think about Arch Manning? But better yet, for the 4th consecutive home game, UT has scored 50-plus points.
That 50-plus points for, what did you say, 4th consecutive? Yeah. That's on Sark, man. He's the offensive genius. That's why he's here at the University of Texas, man. Offensive genius, offensive guru. Arch, these numbers are not like fantastic blowing out of the water, but he did a fantastic job managing the game. One of those INTs, one of those interceptions was definitely on him. The other one was a tip ball, but it goes on his stat line.
Yeah, it does.
2 TDs feels like he had way more than 2 TDs. It's just
it does.
It just the game felt like it came to him and he could have done anything he wanted to do. So 2 TDs, I feel like it's a mistake by Sean, but but it's not. It's not. He's on top of it, man. But 15 completions, 29 attempts. Clean that up a little bit. Shake it off. He's still doing well. But he looked really good, looked comfortable. I think that interception that he threw, the first one, he tried to throw it up there because he had confidence in his receivers.
Yeah.
He had the confidence that they would go up and go and climb the ladder and go get him. So that's a good thing, but then also a bad thing. Like if it's not there, don't force it. Sometimes you need to take the sack. Sometimes you need to throw the ball away. And then that was clearly. I don't know if he was out of the pocket all the way, but either take that sack or throw the ball away if you feel like you're out of the pocket. So now, man, listen, I am so happy, ecstatic that the future is bright at the University of Texas, man. Our offensive guru with Arch, with the name Manny behind it, is going to have us good for a long time, bringing in some big-time receivers, running backs, and offensive linemen. But what we got to do is keep recruiting hard on the defensive side of the ball. That's all we need to do, man. I think we are in good hands.
I like that. And you saw Quinn on the sideline, great leader. You know it's very evident this is his team.
Yeah.
The players respond to him. I mean, he had a role, and his role was to, take it easy, but also be a leader on the sideline, if you will, and be there for Arch. And as far as that's our analysis, but Sark has his own, because he deals with them every day. That's his head coach. We don't get paid like Sark. And there's
not at all.
Only his opinion matters.
Instead of throwing up that post, maybe check it down to the running back and create plays that way. But hey, learning lessons, right? I mean, that's to think he was going to come out and play a perfect game. I don't think anybody in here thought that. We thought he was going to prepare really well, work really hard, do everything he could to play good football. He was going to have some lessons learned, and I think that's what tonight was about.
More so than any other position on the field, much more than I would, that you are going to – this is a position in which you have to have a ton of experience.
Yeah.
And he needs this. And he's lucky that he's receiving it. No offense to Quinn at all, but he's getting these game reps. He's getting a lot of reps, Arch is. And I feel like the return on investment in any program is significant.
Yep. But like I said, though, we all knew that just because we have a case study that Quinn was not going to make it the whole season. You know, there was a few games that he always missed, or a couple games he always missed. So, but for Arch getting in and doing what he did, that's just a stepping stone for his career and managing the game. And so we can get our starter back, because Quinn is still the starter. No matter how fun it was last night, no matter how cool it is to have Arch Manny in there, it's still Quinn's team. So when he's healthy, he's going to come back. But we got some really, really good reps for Arch to take the lead once Quinn is gone.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, Jaden Blue back, 154 yards. 124 yards rushing. That young man, he's his stock is rising quickly.
Yeah.
I may have this wrong, but I think I heard correctly. Sark and that coaching staff were able to play over 50 different guys in that first half.
I'm sure. Yeah, I saw a lot of guys rolling in and out, and some names I didn't even know.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good. Getting some experience. Like again, I'm saying again, building for the future. We are stacking this team to be good for a long time. And I think that Sark got that from the man that did it really well, Nick Saban, his old boss.
Right.
I think that preparing these kids for game day, but also preparing these kids for the future. This is what they're doing over there.
Yeah, 100%. It's longevity. It's that return on investment. And by the way, we're going to get to the Cowboys later, but they are now down only 28-24 with just a little bit to go. I have a lot of negativity on the Cowboys, but we'll wait for that. I'm just. Wait a minute. I wasn't going to get emotionally invested. What am I doing? I'm wasting time.
Yeah. I paused it, man, so I can go back and watch it later. So
that's right. That's right. So you watch this, the defensive side, they limited ULM to 111 yards. Now, granted, Texas has played one quality opponent. But regardless, I think when you do this, 111 total yards, and I want to show you some video here because Anthony Hill, who is the super sophomore utility guy, I mean, this is what we've been talking about and what you, the fans, have kind of caught a glimpse of. Now this guy's making plays like this all the time.
3rd and 7 for General Booty. The former Oklahoma quarterback nailed, dropped.
I mean, first of all, Booty from Shreveport, right?
Yes. Well, I'm not exactly sure. I know his brother. Okay, so his dad, I played with him in high school.
Right.
And they went out to California. So I don't know if he went to high school out in California and then went to OU and then transferred to ULM. But I do know his dad, they moved back to Louisiana to Shreveport when their son went to ULM. So, in fact, I got a cool picture with his dad and his uncle last night after the game. We were hanging out after the game with it's Abram Booty and Josh Booty. Both played at LSU, played at Evangel. Josh went off and played baseball for a few years. And then when his little brother became the receiver at LSU, he came back to LSU to be the quarterback. So it was Booty to Booty.
Booty to Booty.
Booty to Booty.
This is family friendly. This is no real booty.
Yeah. So it was fun seeing General out there because of my good friends from high school is their nephew and their uncle. So there's a storyline out there too that I was intending to tell you about. But when Peyton Manning and Josh Booty were in high school, they were competing as well as for USA Today Offensive Player of the Year.
Right.
So there was a rivalry. There was a Booty Manning rivalry back then in 1993, right? And now, fast forward, the uncle or the nephews of both of those guys are playing each other in the University of Texas Stadium, man. It's a cool storyline. It's really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
General
awesome.
Booty and Arch Manning started against each other just like back in 1993, man. It's no one could write that, That's just the football gods putting that together for us for our entertainment,
No, I think it's beautiful. Because what's funny? I started learning about Evangel probably mid-'90s.
Yeah.
Remember it. And I knew about Louisiana's a great football state, period.
Yeah.
But to this conversation, I mean, real quick.
I went off on a tangent.
No. That's stories inside the man cave is what we are. We're stories, baby. When you see this, does it really matter just for the person thinking it's ULM? But they've been doing this consistently every week.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just ULM. Those guys get scholarships as well. So they're scholarship athletes. We're scholarship athletes. And when you put the ball in the middle of the field, man, anything can happen every single day, every single Saturday. So coming out there focused, putting strapping your pads on and playing a football game, no matter who's the opponent, you still got to make yourself mentally focused. We saw App State beat big time names throughout college football. So it could happen. You can get beat when the ball is on the ground, So
100% you can. But this defense, though, they are flying around.
Yeah, the defense looked great, man. I am so impressed with this defense. Even though we lost some big weapons on defense, we just reloaded. So, but we reloaded, and then the PK and his scheme has he highlights where the strengths are in the defense.
Right.
Yes, and he uses the strengths in the defense. So his defensive mind is genius. We need to do whatever we can do to keep this guy.
Yeah, and he's got. to Pete Kukowski, he has a good staff below him, namely Johnny Nansen, who has some Polynesian roots, from my understanding, and Leona Lafau from the great state of Hawaii. The great state, I call it great because, I need to go. I haven't been yet. I haven't been to any of the islands yet, which is of Polynesian heritage. And there have been some really good football players coming out of there. And Texas has one, Leona Lafau, second-year linebacker. The kid plays. It's fun to watch him, not only because I love the number 18, but he plays with so much speed and intention, bad intentions. And I've got to show you this play. This was beautiful, and I know you saw it. And then we're going to hear from him about Johnny Nansen, playing for a coach like that. So I'm pretty sure that was a safety, if I remember correctly. Of course, because where my seats are, they're up near Uranus, and but you can still have it. But to see them playing with that much intensity with a large lead, you experienced that a lot when you played for Mack Brown and all those great teams. How hard is it to play with that type of intensity when you have a large lead like that?
Oh, man, for me, it was easy. So whenever we go out, we have a goal.
Yeah.
And I remember I actually told my wife this last night. We always had a goal on defense because we were talking about the Mack Brown debacle what happened up there this past weekend. Yeah, it was bad. And Mack Brown's my coach. He's my guy. And so I'm feeling for him right now. But anyway, as a defense, you have a goal. And especially back in high school when we played, we had a mentality of goose eggs. We wanted to count goose eggs. Mm-hmm. And so you can tell these guys had a goal, no touchdowns. And so that's why they kept their intensity up. No touchdowns. We want to keep – they probably had another goal of keeping them under 120 yards or keeping them under 100, Yep. They got 111 total yards. So you always got a goal out there. No matter what the team is doing, you have a goal of what we want to do as a defense. And it felt like that they didn't want any touchdowns from the defense. They probably wanted a goose egg.
They did.
Yeah, but they got a field goal. They tried another field goal and missed it, or was it blocked? I think it was partially blocked.
There was a hand on it.
Okay.
Or a fingernail or something.
Yeah, so it was blocked or altered. So that's how you keep your intensity up. Just lean on your goals because you can get lax when someone is not moving the ball and things like that. But if you have a goal and you want to, you're fighting for your teammates, you keep it. Yeah.
Well, we're going to hear from Leona. Just listening to him, he's wise beyond his years, really mature. He talks about playing for Coach Nansen and how intense he is and with all that energy. And then we're going to just straight up from there transition to the SEC part of the season, which starts this week.
When it comes to Polynesian culture, we're big on love and respect and, just treat everyone how you want to, basically that kind of stuff. So, and Nansen, he's a Polynesian too, so he obviously understands it. So, I mean, growing up, that's always how I was taught. Our coaches were always they loved us beyond the game. So that's how Coach Nansen, but not only him, that's how our whole coaching staff really is with us.
Well, if we want to win a national championship here, which is what our goal was, and this is what we were striving for, we had to build our team that way. And so when we made the move to say we were going to go to the SEC, it really didn't change our philosophical approach on the type of team we were building. It just, I think, made it a little easier for some of the kids we were recruiting in different things to know that was the conference we were going to be in. And I think we've done that. I think we've got a team that's more than capable to go into this conference and compete.
So I think we all know, and we talked about this so much in the offseason and even in this right now. Texas is constructed. They are entering the SEC at the ideal time because the way the roster is constructed and enough experience, enough youth, and the size on the offensive line. So why is that for those from a player standpoint? I know you didn't play in the SEC, but why is Texas SEC ready?
So Sark had a few years to get the University of Texas football program ready for SEC play.
Right.
He's done a good job of doing that. Man, I am so arrogant that I am like, is SEC ready for Texas? You know,
Fair. That's fair. I like it.
Is SEC ready for Texas? Because we're coming in flying around, fired up, chip on our shoulder. I know we got the number 1 ranking, but and that's hard to keep a chip on your shoulder when you have the crown on your head. So right, so I think right now we're flying around, and Mississippi State hadn't won. What's their record right now?
It's not good. It's not good. Not good at all.
They're going to be fired up to try to get their first win. So we still got to be fired up to get our first SEC win. So like I said, leaning on your own goals and not worrying about who's the opponent in front of you.
Right. And the problem here, though, is they're Texas hosting Mississippi State. Jason Washington's an assistant on there. He's been on there since when Mike Leach took over. But when you look at Mississippi State, and this is why I say the SEC's a little down this year. Look at them. They handled the business against Eastern Kentucky, an FCS school. They lost at Arizona State. They lost at home to Toledo badly, and then got their ass handed to them by a bad Florida team, 45-28 in the SEC opener. So, having said that, at some point the team is going to come together. We all seen it. Or maybe they don't like, I don't know, it may be something internal. Maybe they're youthful.
Mm-hmm.
But Mississippi State is not going to lay down for Texas.
No, they're not. In fact, they're going to be fired up to be the first ones to try to beat us. So it's going to be fun. First SEC game is at home for us. But, come out on fire and leaning on your goals.
Well, here we go. So this is what Texas looks like, a snapshot of them statistically before or after the 4 non-conference games. I mean, we're looking at over 47 points a game. They've scored 26 touchdowns. I mean, everyone talks balance, but we all know this is going to be a pass-heavy offense. I mean, that's significant. But to me, in the Orange defense, they're allowing 5.5 points per game. That's insane. But what's even more important, 95 yards per game rushing.
Yeah. We always had a goal on our D-line is we wanted to keep them under 100 yards, keep every team we play under 100 yards. And we did a pretty good job of it back then. But these guys are doing a damn good job of it right now.
But can you say with confidence that these stats are naturally, they're going to get tested. They're going to get pushed. It's just different. They're just playing different football.
Yeah. Absolutely, especially when we get deep down into the belly of the SEC. It is gonna get tested. But these guys, they know that this coaching staff has done a great job of keeping these guys prepared.
Yeah. Well, so we're in the SEC schedule now. Finally, this is where it's a first steps toward a national championship, or it's really not focused on a national title anymore. It's getting into the playoffs, and even then getting into the playoffs is much different now because now they expanded 8 teams from 4. But look at this big dog game this week. Georgia, Bama. At Bama. So what's your gut feel? Do you feel like DeBoer can get the Crimson Tide? I mean, George Teague spoke earlier on a preseason episode that he feels like it's going to be a smooth transition, but it's more of a wait and see approach. I mean, Alabama looks good right now.
Alabama does look good, but Georgia going to Georgia,
Okay.
They had a bye week this week, so they spent 2 weeks game planning for Bama. I think they'll be fine. They'll go out there. It's a 2-touchdown score for them.
Okay.
Win, a 2-touchdown win at least. Okay. So, in my opinion, because Georgia is still Georgia right now, man.
No, I agree.
Yeah. So if it's close, everyone is going to be surprised that Alabama played them close, but I don't think it will be. Georgia's going to Georgia.
All right.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
I don't know, man, because I don't think anybody really knows much about this Alabama team.
Yeah.
Except for people like George T.
Yeah. Although I was on a call from with a friend from Georgia that's on staff over there, and that person said that Nick Saban is really around the program a lot. He still has a house right there in Tuscaloosa, so he's around the program, and they think that he talks to the staff a lot over there. So the heart of Nick Saban is still around that. The ghost of Nick Saban is still around that campus right now.
Presence.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I don't know, man. I just it is no disrespect to Georgia. Great team, great program. But I just kind of feel like Alabama's going to pull something out of there and upset them. I really do.
I hear you. Hey, let's do it.
Barely.
Okay.
Barely. So from that to an SEC opener in which involved a head coach who was a quarterback that led Oklahoma to a national championship, Bob Stoops' only national championship. He came back and beat his alma mater, very emotional in the locker room for Tennessee.
This thing coming back to Norman was never about me. It was not. But I appreciate you all having a little extra for me.
We did that for you, Coach. I just game ball for you.
Definitely a player's coach.
Hey, man. That guy, I played against Josh Heupel.
Yeah, you did.
I got to ask you a question.
Okay.
Do I look that old?
No.
Josh and I are basically the same age. Oh, my goodness. But we're old dads now, so I'm okay with it, man. But no, I'm happy for him. I'm typically not happy for anybody that wore that colors.
I get it.
In Norman. I know you did a lot of work up there, but that was really neat. That was special for him to go in there and beat his alma mater. Wasn't it their SEC opener?
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah. And so that was fun for him. That's neat for his team to rally around him. That's emotional, man. That was really cool. That was really cool. That's another one of those football gods things that put that stuff together. You can't write these stories, man. This is a historic time in college football right now. Everything has changed in college football. There's good, bad, and ugly right now, but we're all taking it one day at a time, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. The storylines, the kids getting paid to being able to do this and that and all this, like it's really the wild, wild west out there, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. I mean, it's just different. Nobody knows how to handle it, but just enjoy it. But
one day at a time.
One day at a time. I do think Tennessee is legit. I really do. I think So the backstory on Heupel, obviously, Mike Leach was the OC, and I found him in a junior college in Utah, and brought him in. And Bob and everyone was like, "No, that's not our guy." And Leach says, "Trust me, he doesn't look the part. He doesn't look that athletic. The guy can throw the ball wherever you want it."
Mm-hmm.
And he's a coach's son.
Mm-hmm.
He came in, did what he did for 2 years, and then he came back and was on the staff, and then became co-offensive coordinator. He and Jay Norvell.
Yeah.
Well, it was after 2014 or 2015. I can't remember, Bob. They just had really a bad year as far as OU standards. OU was the standard in the Big 12, and it's a business. So he had to cut ties. He had to go move a different direction. And Bob praises Josh Heupel to this day. So that leads me to this: OU's offense is absolute hot garbage. I never thought I'd see the day in this modern day. It is pure shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I tend to agree with you, man. Yeah.
I can't. Their defense is really good, though.
Yeah. Holding Tennessee to only 25 points. I mean, that's another goal we had. As when big games came up, we said if we can hold a team. When a big game come up, if you can hold a team to 21 points, we're going to win the game. And so, they held them to 25 points. By our standards as a defensive player, you're still supposed to win that game.
Yeah.
So anyway, they just couldn't get it together, man. They just couldn't. So I don't know. OU got some growing to do, and they're going to get into the thick of this SEC, man. I don't think it's going to look good at all.
Well, I don't know if it's scheme or offensive line, and I feel like Jackson Arnold, who was his heralded quarterback out of Denton, we saw him, man. He's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but it's not translating. But that Brent hired a lot of OU guys. Seth Luttrell, I think, used to be coach at North Texas, part of that 2000 national championship team, I believe. They don't know. There's no identity. The offense is stagnant, awful. It's very un-OU like. I mean, it's still early, Stevie, but you've seen it. I mean, even Okafor, when he played, Greg Robinson came back middle of the year and simplified it, and they became better.
Yeah.
Do you think they can make some changes? Because this is OU we're talking about. It's not like they have a bunch of injuries. There's talent there. Yeah. Can they figure out what it is they want to do and do good enough, or do you think this is just going to be a horrible year for Oklahoma?
I think it's going to be a horrible year for Oklahoma.
Okay.
They may come up and surprise some people. In fact, they may come up and surprise us because it's a rivalry game.
Easily could happen.
It easily could happen. But other than that, man, I don't see them doing much in the Big 12, in the SEC right now. So
I don't know if they couldn't do anything in the Big 12 right now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, real quick, your thoughts on this? What this will be like? We're going to roll through this. Aggies got another win, but they struggled in non-conference against Mid-American Conference opponent Bowling Green at home, 26-20.
Not looking good for the Aggies either, man. It's not. Okay. It's dude, bro. It's just not looking good, man. I don't know. And they've had time in the SEC to try to get better and try to, build a program there
over a decade.
I don't know what Jimbo Fisher was doing with all that money, but he left. When he left them with nothing. You
got talent.
Yeah, but it's not computing over there, man. So with the money that they throw down over there, the program that they've historically had, the facilities that they have, you should not be struggling against Bowling Green.
No.
At home.
So we're 2 years removed from when TCU played for a national. I think it's 2 years ago. Played for a national championship. Well, he played at his former school. He's a head coach at TCU, obviously, and he also was the head coach at SMU. Well, he had a problem with an official, and this happens. But I've never seen a college football coach be ejected, and was his response. And I love Sonny Dykes, but this is pretty much all you can say to that.
First time that's ever happened. Certainly uncharted territory for me. Apologize to our players and our fans. That should never happen. Was disappointed it happened. Thought it was maybe unwarranted, but it happened, and that's my responsibility to make sure that never happens. So 100% my fault.
Basically said nothing, but I get it, man. There's pressure now. He's at TCU. Regardless of what people want to say, there is pressure at that job.
Yeah.
And there is a lot more money being siphoned into that program. Hell, they played for a national championship, so they were that close.
Yeah.
Which means you can do that still as a Big 12 member.
Yeah. I don't know what he did, man. I don't know what happened. Why did he get ejected?
I think it was the side judge. He was all up in his ass about a call that he didn't like, and it was a holding. Listen, TCU isn't exactly having the best start to the year. I know there's just pressure, man, and Sonny's a good coach. There's no doubt about it. I'm trying to figure out exactly, and that was a rivalry game against SMU.
Yeah, big game in Dallas,
and SMU is pretty much they're buying everything, and they're more competitive. But nobody can say anything about buying because everyone's doing it now. I mean, they got beat by SMU 66-42.
Where's the defense in that game?
Yeah, I don't even see it. I don't even know if it existed.
Yeah, right.
But that's what happened. That's Sonny Dykes. We're going to take a quick break and give a shout out to our guys at the Boulevard Bar and Grill. They helped us make our live 90-minute show a thing. And we're going to caption some things on the other side of this break. The Bully is a cozy Austin original bar and grill that feels like home. Boulevard Bar and Grill, nestled into this Northwest Hills strip mall, recently celebrated 2 decades. The drink prices are like going back to 2004. It's where familiar faces gather and everyone knows your name. The Bully family are also friends of the Stories Inside the Man Cave podcast. Boulevard Bar and Grill on Far West Boulevard in Northwest Austin. All right, Stevie Lee, it's captioned this time. The lovely Trisha took a picture of a couple of things. Like she took a picture of you and I, and it was so many options. And so on the left, that's the first lady of the Man Cave, Tess Sawyer, with her Mama Sawyer, and she's pointing to her tooth with a crown. Her crown has a Longhorn on it.
No, really?
Yeah. So what do you caption that? I mean, she's got some swagger with that.
I don't know, man. I'm just gonna say hook 'em.
Hook 'em.
I wish I could see the Longhorn on it, man. I
tried to zoom in, but it was too blurry.
Yeah, distorted. Yeah, for sure.
This was yesterday at our. I don't want to tell everybody where we go because then everybody will start going there. I go there because nobody goes there.
Right.
And on your right, your neighbor, our mutual, my former media colleague. It was Taylor Gaspar. Now it's her other half. Ty.
Estes.
Estes? Yeah. But I love the friend in the back. Oh, that's good laughter. Good, that's belly laughing. What would you? So Taylor had my phone, was supposed to be taking a picture of us.
That's right.
All of us. And then look what she does.
I don't know, man. I don't know how to caption that one, but that's her husband, good friend of mine on the
good people.
Yeah, on the right there. And then that's their friend that they brought to the game with them in the back right there. So they're good people, man. Salt of the earth. They'll do anything for you. They love my daughters. Every Halloween, they give out good candy, but to my kids, they give out the full size candy bars and candies. And it's always a good time because I just end up eating it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
We do the full-size candies for our candies, man. They're just good people, man.
Man, you need some diabetic candy.
Absolutely.
Well, hook 'em on the left. I got you on the right.
Yep, gotcha. That's good.
Gotcha. Shout out to Taylor and Ty and friend in the back. Y'all had a great time. It was good seeing all of y'all.
Yep.
And we're gonna have to have Taylor on the show with her
One of
knowledge
these
of
days.
college football. And on the other side, we're gonna find out just how bad. How I feel like Dallas Cowboys are getting this close to to losing the moniker America's team. Because they do not know how to win or close out games anymore. We'll see you on the other side of this break.
Today's going to be an exciting day at the Hargrove office as we bring in a local celebrity. Welcome the kicking phenom, Bert Auburn, conference champion of the Texas Longhorns football team, all-conference kicker. He's going to be our new spokesman.
Bert's the best kicker in the conference. He plays for the Texas Longhorns. As you can see, Bert's f***ing awesome.
Hey, Stevie.
Dude, you're really replacing me with a kicker?
No, not at all, man. Hey, guys, who wants a picture with Stevie? Anyone? Stevie almost won a Big 12 championship. Hargrove Roofing. Know who's on your roof.
Stevie Lee. The Dallas Cowboys are 1-2. They were down 28-9 at home to a winless Baltimore Ravens team. Last week we knew the Ravens would come in salty because they were 0-2. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day in the NFL, no doubt. I told you that I was not going to be emotionally tied or involved with the Cowboys for the first time in my life. There's something wrong with this club, man. They did rattle off 19 fourth quarter points. Okay.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I haven't watched the end of the game. I paused it, so I want to see how it ended up. But they basically almost came back. They scored a touchdown, and I paused it at the 2 minutes 44 seconds point. They still have all their timeouts. There's a chance. And right now they're down by 3. I don't know what the final score was.
That's the final, 28-25.
Yeah, so they had all their timeouts and a 2-minute warning. If they would have just stopped them on defense, I don't know how it happened, but they may be on a cusp of trying to figure it out. And they did not figure it out for the first 3 quarters, but they're figuring it out in the fourth quarter. So pump your brakes. Don't throw out the baby with the bath yet, because the Ravens is a damn good team. Lamar Jackson was MVP last year, but they those first 3 quarters they could not stop Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is a man amongst men, so he's running the ball really hard, and so just wait. Let's give him a couple of weeks, Dak is still out spending all of his money. CD is out spending all his money right now. So once they run through all that, they'll get back to basics.
Well, I mean, if you look at Dak's numbers, 28 of 51, 2 touchdowns. All right, that's
how many interceptions?
None.
It's not bad, man. It's not bad.
They had 51 yards rushing, bro.
Oh, okay, that's bad. So, yeah. But they almost still came back.
Yeah, but I think this team's headed down a path to 8 wins, meaning 8-9.
Ooh, a losing season.
Hey, TikToking in the man
with the highest paid quarterback in the league.
That's on Jerry. The Jones family needs to get out of this business quickly. TikToking,
or delegate the business.
Delegate, keep the profit. So the team that just totally embarrassed Dallas last week, the New Orleans Saints, their running back Jamal Williams, very very much like us, but he has a love for cats. I can relate. I'm a cat dad myself for 14 years, 15 years. Adopted these two in Oklahoma City when I was married. They're still with me. Yeah. Jamal Williams at the end of training camp, man, he was ready to get out of there, man, because he wanted to see his babies, so to speak. This is your TikToking in the man cave.
Say it again.
You had a long stay out here in California?
Yeah, never in my life have I ever stayed in a hotel for over a month. So
you gonna get home?
Yeah, my mental is done. But I'm having fun with my team and everything, but I'm ready to go and see my cats. Honestly, I got cats, and I know they are going crazy right now, wondering where their dad is at. So I'm ready to get home, honestly.
You can relate, I guess, huh?
Hey, it's like dogs, cats. You got pets, man. You got they're like family, all of them.
Yeah, that's funny.
100%.
That's
100%, man. No doubt about it.
Hey, man, tell me something good.
All right, Stevie Lee, you're a positive guy. We love positivity. We always try to do this the right way. Tell me something good, my brother.
I'm gonna keep it football again, man. I know for the last few weeks I've been keeping it football, but tell it something good right now, man. We're starting with SEC play this week, bro.
Sir.
I am so excited. We put the logo on our jerseys. We put the logo on the field. The band at halftime put the logo in the field with the formation, SEC in the band in the field with the band. But this week we're gonna stop talking about it and be about it, right? We're actually gonna play an SEC team, our first conference game in the SEC, big bad SEC. So it's gonna be fun. DKR is gonna be lit up. It's gonna be electric out there. You know, Mississippi State is coming to town, and sorry that they're the first ones. You know that you're gonna be the first ones. And so that legacy is going to live on forever. Our first SEC game as a SEC conference member against whomever is going to it's going to be a very lopsided score. These guys are going to come out fired up. No matter who our quarterback is, they're going to be fired up. The defense they're definitely going to be fired up. This team was constructed and built to be an SEC team, and we're here right now.
That's it. A lot of fans complaining that there was no drone show in between the third and fourth quarter. I haven't heard why, but to me, I thought me and Trish, we were talking because it was her first time, and we were. I said it probably may have been the wind because it was really windy last night.
Yeah, it was windy, but we may be running out of money because we spent a lot of money. Man, if you go in that stadium and you see the lights and the smoke and everything, like, man, some CDC said we need to pull the budget back in a little bit.
All I did was I saw a tweet and he says we're trying new things.
New things, yeah.
But there were a lot of people who brought their kids for the first time because
the light show.
They wanted to see the drone show.
You know what? One new thing he's trying to save money because he's been spending on a spending spree. So that might be the new thing he's trying.
Let's remove the drones.
Yeah.
And do it that way. But I'll tell you something good, man. I'll stick on the same page that you are. But as far as game day experience, and I know that a lot of people's game day experiences are phenomenal. If you get an opportunity, man, to get a non-sports fan, and especially like go to Texas or go to Kyle Field at A&M and OU, I know that one for and everywhere. You're going to leave there, even if you don't like football, and you're going to love the experience from tailgating to the light shows to the music to everything, all the moving elements. UT is a prime example. It's so much fun. And the energy, there's no dead periods. There's no way you get bored. If not, then you might say, maybe that's not for you, but there's no way to get bored.
Yeah.
And be glad that we have the opportunity to do this, man, because it is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Stevie Lee, 407, historic episode. It's in the books. Much love to you, brother, and the Stevie Lee family, to Senior and your immediate family, and to the great city of Shreveport, Louisiana, and my college alma mater town, that being Nacogdoches, Texas, the pride of the Pines, man, the paradise in the Pines, and to the Hargrove family and all of you who watch us religiously. Tell your mama, tell everybody, share these posts with them, help us market this, and be sure to call Hargrove Roofing because they'll do a hell of a job. And what do you say to those people when they ask about Hargrove Roofing, Stevie?
Hargrove Roofing, know who's on your roof.
That's right. And we love them like family. They are fine Americans, and so are the OG Man Cave boys, that being Coach Mo, Big Mike, and Hardball Hards. What did we tell them, Stevie Lee?
We out.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up.
I said get out.